on things you can. Stop dwelling on things you can't change and focus on things you can. Because here's what we know. We know that we have a limited power over our circumstances. We can't do everything. I'm skipping around a little bit. But we have limited power over our circumstances. We can't change that the storm came. When I was crossing that bridge, I couldn't change the weather, right? I would have liked to have turned the faucet off, man, and just said, hey, God, for 5 minutes, let me get across this bridge. Then let it rain, buddy. Let it rain, and I'll be good. I would like to have done that, but here's what I have to come to grips with. I have limited power over my circumstances. I can't control the rain. I can't control the waves. I can't control the force of the wind against my Dodge Neon, man. I can't control that. There's some things we can control, but I cannot control my circumstances. So what we have to see is that while we have limited power in our circumstances, we have absolute power over our reaction to the circumstances. So in the midst of the storm, I can't change the storm, but I can control how I respond to the storm. I can control that. I'm responsible for how I respond. Zach has gotten into baseball since we got moved. He's always loved baseball, but we took a few years off because when came home with Lexi, we just kind of said no extracurricular activity for the rest of us. Let's just kind of learn how to do life with 100 people in our home and that kind of thing. So that's when we kind of took a break from sports for a while. But Zach's back into it now that we've gotten back here in the upstate, and so he's going for it. Well, the other day, I think we played 4 games now. At this time, this was the second game, and he had like 1,000 on base percentage, but he'd only walked and gotten hit by pitches. But it was pretty cool, right? On base 100% of the time. But at that particular game, he was standing there. Bases were loaded. It was a pretty awesome opportunity. Bases were loaded, and he was in the batter's box, and the pitch came, and he did the right thing. He turned, to the pitch and allowed it to hit him in the back. The bad thing is hit him right on, kind of like the spine over there. It was bad. It hurt him pretty bad. And so he was kind of buckled over. He was just in excruciating pain. You could tell. I mean, just hurting. And so the coach came up. Both Scotts came up to him. Were just like, "Hey man, you okay? I know that hurt." Georgia, they would always say, when you get hit by a pitch, don't rub it. They do that in South Carolina? I don't know where that came from, man. When you get hit, you want to rub it, amen? But here's the thing, it was in a place, you couldn't have rubbed it anyway, right? Because it was way back here. It was on his spine. It hurt bad, man. He was just buckled over. And I think it was Scott Lawson came up to him and said, hey, man, are you okay? And he was just like, just kind of the breath out of him like this. He said, RBI, baby. That's what I'm talking about, right? Because again, you have limited power over your circumstances. You can't control when you're going to get hit by a pitch, but you do have control over how you react to your circumstances. You have control over that, and we all do. We all do. Here's what I know. You're going to be in pain. It's not a question of if, but when. You're going to be in pain. But how are you going to respond to that pain? How are you going to react? And see, here's what I'm afraid most Christians are we're a bunch of wimps when it comes to spiritual attack. And I don't want anybody to leave hurt, feeling like, oh man, I just feel like I'm a wimp. No, I want you to be encouraged. Listen to this. We have confidence in our great God. You remember the song? The confidence is not in us. Our confidence is not in our strength. Our confidence is not in our ability. Our confidence is not even in our ability to withstand the pain of being hit in the circumstance. Here's what our confidence is in. Our confidence is in the victory that God has already given to us, right? So look, either way, you win. You win. But the devil is going to throw all kind of junk at you, and he's going to try to make you get confused and distracted. And the last one is one you need to get ready to write down in just a moment, because he's going to lie to you and he's going to cause you to see things that aren't real. And it's going to cause us, when we get hit by the storm and we are in pain, it's going to cause us want to just quit the game and stop and just quit, turn around, go home, and just give up. So that's how the devil works. But I'm telling you, that is not what God's called us to. Going back to the first subpoint there under number 2, every thought in the now is an investment in tomorrow. Every thought in the now is an investment in tomorrow. And that's why I would say, look, our challenge is to take captive the thoughts. That's what 2 Corinthians 10:5 says. We take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And so we have the ability to respond in the right way to the circumstances we face. We have no excuse. We have no excuse to quit. We have no excuse to give up. We have no excuse to cower down. We have no excuse to say the enemy is stronger than us. He is only stronger than us when we fight him in our power. When we stand in the power of God, the devil has no ability to beat us. Now we know the circumstances are going to come. The storm's going to rage. But we're not stopping in the middle of the storm. We're pressing on. Let me go to the third stop sign.